where we're looking at, and a little fly through over Stronghold. I'm seeing some trails land on in Enigma, and that is going to be 5 fears. So seeing Falcons out of the lobby, they want to go to a POI that they feel a lot more comfortable with. I don't blame them. Try and make it happen, but look at this down at Control. There is a lot going on, and same thing at Factory as well. We see Lennon and Echo. They've landed on over here and are looking to get active early on.
Yeah, just off screen, by the way, sorry. 3 teams landed on boat, which was interesting to watch. But we get a bit of a glimpse at the back end of this. It's going to be Vortex and Co. This EXO Esports, sorry, not Vortex and Co. who will win some of the fights against Netods, but Volcom then trades it on out. Javi will be there to clean it up. You survived just long enough in order to ensure you come back in. But VKA were the other part of this equation, and Kadzu, he's tucked himself in just to stay alive. It's basically a 1v1v1 here. Javi will come out on top. Netods, though, has landed in behind. Can Go stay up? Yes, is the answer. But still that 1v1v1 going on as players float from the skies.
If you're 100 Thieves right now, you're loving this. You had to deal with so many contests through your first 3 games of the day. You get a little bit of a break, you come back in for the last 3, and well, hey, all of the action's happening down below you. You finally get Control Center for free, and you let all of these teams who are trying to play spoiler to you have to go ahead, battle it out down on the boat. And you're loving that because you're just watching all of these kills happen to the kill feed. And well, yes, they could go towards you. Hey, you are just feeling a lot more secure, and that's what I think 100 Thieves needs in this first game of our last series of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. You can drop your anchor and just let the rest of your boys go on the hunt a little bit. As we see Gabe pick himself up in the feed. There's a reason for that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I will talk about that later. We're on with Inner Circle. Teeny going to get aggressive here, but potentially a little bit too much, as he ends up being covered over by some of this Gamax roster. It's going to be 10x in the distance. Sucker's up close. Orbs, what can you do? As he continues to assess this push. Sucre, I mean, don't get me wrong, it would look gorgeous on mainstream if you could pull this off, but that's a close range to be trying to pull out a sniper rifle, pistol in hand. Now, we'll still have that cover from 10x over the top, but also there's going to be the third player, Elo Lam, on the opposite side. Could they set up a pinch if you just stay alive?
It's going to be really tough, and you can see he's just trying to maybe find any type of angle. Bray's going to be the one to jump up on the top. Pistol in hand. Sucre, he is going to be able to at least find the knock, but there isn't a full there. Bray, he's going to move on forward and find them, but Wars from distance actually brings down Obs. So just like that, for Inner Circle, Bray kind of has to play his life. You're probably telling Teeny, hey, just bleed out. It's A-okay. We can get you back on, and we are still very early game with the Resurgence timer. For Alatu, hey, guess what? 9Z, they are back into the mix, and they are just trying to hang on here. PA will rip across, no worries there. But they obviously kind of at the end of that first series were feeling very, very good. Glad to see them back on into the mix. For Virtus Pro and Gentlemates still looking to get active here at Chemical.
No Chris will come out on top in the fight against Sage, so just managing to keep his squad in it here. The XO Esports roster with plenty of company, of course. Virtus Pro, we've seen what they can do already, and looks like they're just only getting started. Noob trying to hold the high ground, looking out on over the top. He's going to try and give out intel and also finds a knock onto Nautilus to make it even better. As teammates float on in, that will give you the 3v2 numbers advantage. Your third isn't necessarily going to have the weaponry, but the numbers themselves will just hand you the advantage in the fight.
And I wonder at all, is Gentlemate's going to maybe see this happening, hear these gunshots, and are they going to rotate over? Are they just worried about holding down their own POI? Looks like no movement for the time being because, well, Inner Circle, they've tried to come over here and land at Bio. So no opportunity for movement for Virtus Pro, though. They're going to go ahead. Managed to hold on to Chemical for the time being, and you are just a little bit farming this XO Esports roster here right now. Yet again, Hamoud found on out, taken on down. We can see, okay, you got somebody is trying to get active on over here. One member of Gentlemates has entered into the Chemical side, but you might just be an easy picking for the time being. Bramalok looking up over the top as Enkyo looks to get active.
Yeah, the Gentlemates are here to take part in this fight. Enkyo's just going to shield himself from the Semtex and won't find much purchase as Noob Sage flood on forward. Gromlock and Hollow unable to provide that support distance. It's a nice side shot at least to back Dongy down for the moment. But that's probably all you're going to get. Yeah, a circle, by the way. We did get a quick look at the full map. It will continue to pull off towards this direction. So all the fights happening now could have huge repercussions for later.
Yeah, and I like that sort of patience from Virtus Pro. They easily could have tried to maybe ego on top of Chemical against some of those members of Gentlemates, but they get their one, A-okay, don't have to worry about it. They back on up, they are fine.
We had a moment there where the kill feed said that 5 fears had been wiped, but I'm seeing at the top still 14 teams, so maybe you've just about squeaked back in. The answer is yes, you get one in, so a bit of a delay on that kill timer. However, you survive for a moment, and never mind, anxiety found, so we will see 5 fears eliminated. So that stronghold landing might be there for free, right? Most certainly not on the cards.
Notrius, last member alive at XO, gonna go for a swim a little bit, hang on out here. Looks like he can get the other teammates back on through. A lot of movement happening up towards this prison side, though. Elalam throwing a little bit of a shoulder down below. Vision with the heat check. Prodigy slides on forward. It's now a 2v2. It's a great sort of bait right there from Gamax. As Elalam continuing trying to hold that door. Great play from that squad in the tunnel. Bait them on in, be able to get the trade. Elalam currently sitting on 4. Not a bad way to start this game.
No, I said before we came into the whole day that this Gamax roster are a bit of a dark horse, really. They've had LAN experience, they've brought in Sucre and surprised everybody. Qualifying from North America, a bad team doesn't do that. And you see a couple of kills coming up in the feed. The Scummin finds Blast. 100 Thieves that will trade that out with Grom. Also then being found by Wars elsewhere. And it's just a bit of a feed here for everybody. VP will lay claim to more of this chemical land as they send Inner Circle packing, gaining so much space on the map that really they're going to have to go on the hunt to find any kills, otherwise just locking in for a late position.
Yeah, and I kind of love, I was looking exactly, I'm like, wait, where is Team Vision in all of this? Because we've seen them getting active, and I look kind of down on in, and they are landing towards that factory side, down towards the boat. So everybody looking to get a little bit active, and well, VKA, part of that crew, as we see Sucre get taken on out in the kill feed, and that is a wipe. So very quickly we went from no teams eliminated to 3 teams being eliminated, and we are just ending our second circle.
Yeah, Gamax there needed a bit of a heat check. You had the 2 players pushing in through prison. They get found, and at the wrong moment, Sucre is then cleaned up by Vidati. So unfortunate timing for a team that looked like they were just about finding their footing. XO Esports can fight over this. Gets caught climbing up. That's FIFA kill. Vision Esports here then to try and lock this down. You do have support from your teammates. One on factory roof, one floating in the sky. FIFA kill just decided to do this himself. LC10 in hand. Can you stay up for now? Notrius trying to float that out and finds the finish.
Yeah, would have loved to maybe see a little bit of help there from Echo. It's not going to be enough. Lennon, I think he tries to land, but he's not going to be able to stay alive as well as Notrius will find him. So a nice little 2-piece there from Notrius onto some members of Team Vision. You can see in our upper left-hand corner where the zone is pulling. This feels like we're going to that sort of split harbor red final end zone. And when we look at some of the teams that are there, I think we have a lot of squads who have this same idea because it is a nice little layer cake happening at red.
Yeah, VKA have got a big amount of action to hold off here. This could reward them greatly later on. Can you third-party the situation though? And yes, you do find Volcom as he also finds Nate Dogg in turn. So you're going to understand that you're full 3 right now fighting against the remainder of squads. So not only is that a couple of kills on the board, do you spot the leg of Go Clamp? Aizen, pull out the sniper, do you see him? Just slipping away. Kazoo trying to chase after that. And eventually Go Clamp somehow not spotted. Fish in the water will swim away. Kill feed, by the way, 5th kill being found. So Vision Esports continue to be in a little bit of a blender. Echo was the only player up for them for a while. And yeah, in trouble. Virtus Pro looking to hold this rotation down. That is actually going to be the Gentlemates trying to find their way out of this industry building. Not going to be easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, the zone is pulling them away, and that's what I'm a little bit worried about here, Enigma. You have to go up this sort of a ladder area, and it just feels like maybe 2 ships passing in the night as a member of Virtus Pro. Not even looking over here. Could have caught them on the steps if they need to, but Smoke will go ahead, cover their backside. But you're not out of danger just yet. You enter that prison courtyard. You have some members of Rock looking down at you as well. It does look like Hollow is found, but Grom, he's there for a good trade. PA rings out across the top, and well, we're starting to see Blasket in the mix as well as Gabe Kuhn. He slides out here, is able to find Gromalog. That's going to leave Hollow be the last one alive. Just as Enkyo spawns back on in, hiding in a corner that is there. So a couple of top teams starting to get active here at prison.
Yeah, weird series of timings happening just as everybody kind of slips and slides past each other. It all benefits the Thieves, though, as they find kills in the feed. Hollow's trying to tuck himself away, and the Gentlemates will be eliminated. Gabe Kuhn with the punishing blow towards the end. Trying to collapse back in towards this courtyard. You're going to Volcom for company. You've also got Rock Esports deciding to swarm towards this. You see Vision Esports eliminated early here. Far earlier than they would have liked in 10th. But Rock have kills on the board, 6 for Vision himself. I was wondering just how much they were going to do with the fact that not many people were landing prison, but this circle has dragged so many squads rotating through here, and they are loving that.
Yeah, that is what you have to be really sort of cautious about, is yes, you've sort of cut your way up into prison, but you know you're going to have to play out of this. But I think if I'm thinking about where the zone is ending, you want to play from this prison side up, down. You don't want to have to kind of play from the bottom up, but when I'm taking a look, you can see squad number 6 on your minimap, VKA. They've already laid claim to sort of red and this area. They're set up for final center zone. They're going to be feeling very, very solid. But I think for 100 Thieves, if you could do exactly what Blast is doing, hop on up, try and get some of those kills, it's going to be great. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do it uncontested because Rock, they're playing from the other side. We see Wars with a sniper in hand, and he is trying to land those shots and play a little bit of a spoiler.
Skull just turns the tide on that whole fight there. You actually have a knock come through onto 100 Thieves, but his PA actually covers over and does enough defensively to knock one of the Rock players. So you set yourselves up then, 3v3, for the rooftop control. Got to be a little bit worried about the hanging around of Novo in behind. They are underneath, so it's not a threat right now, but could always play that late gas rotation. Thing is, this next circle's dragging everybody off the top of prison, so at some point, one of you has got to abandon ship and send sail into the wind, and well, you get this kind of cross-trade situation. Blash just trying to provide coverage, cracks one, backs one down, but now could be Sworn. Beautiful movement to get himself out of that situation, but Vision will find Skull in the feed.
I mean, great way for Blast to be able to play his life and stay alive. But look at the kill feed. Actually, looks like Vision is still alive.
Okay.
We were a little bit baited here. Not only are they alive, but they're kicking Enigma, finding kills in the kill feed. They're going to go ahead, play over towards this double-story building on the outside of Gens. And look who's surging on forward, though. Virtus Pro. They're still here. They say, hey, we understand you don't want to drop on us, but we're going to try and answer on back. Lennon, he's able to make the trade, and you can see maybe a little bit of frustration from Virtus Pro there. Not expecting Vision to be in that position. And next thing you know, hey, they're right back into this game.
Yeah, Rock and Novo trying to hit this rotation down, by the way. You will lose pretty much everybody if you are Novo. Cams does just enough, but Prodigy's there for the trade. So Novo out of here into our top 6. To give you a bit of a lay of the land, you will have B-Daddy still holding that main ground, but you do have all 3 remaining in Vision who have claimed Harbor. So everybody else got to figure their routes in, and it's not going to be easy heading downhill in very much so open territory.
One more team needs to be eliminated for us to be into our top 5, get to that 1.4 times multiplier. And with the amount of kills that we are seeing on the board, a couple of these teams can absolutely make use of that. Gabe Kuhn, he's looking to get a little bit active, but overheats. You can see Prodigy, not only does he knock Blast, but he's able to find Gabe. Foles coming on in, and is that going to be it for 100 Thieves? No, you got Skullface still alive, just trying to hang on for that placement multiplier. But while Rock has been here at the top, they're trying to be able to clean up 100 T. Well, Team Vision, they have the high ground. They have the ability to use this sort of roof as a little bit of look over, and Prodigy, he's just taking out in the gas.
Set it up then. Couple of solos, couple of swimmers. Prodigy's going to tuck himself into the shag. 3 on one rooftop, 3 on the other. Who blinks first? Well, Lennon will find the kill. H-Mood will also be found by net odds. 2 swimmers remain then. Otherwise, it's hold your ground, stand your buildings, but the zone will pull the direction of the French, so Vision Esports have to go.
Yeah, you have to start moving here, and well, the early rotations are great. Skullface in the feed, he finds net odds. That is a squad getting eliminated. He's doing what he needs to do, and that is stay alive. And the fact that he's finding kills in this multiplier is huge. FIFA kill, he's gonna take a lot of damage. Jumps over the top into the water. Meanwhile, his teammate Lennon playing from the inside. Could be a little bit of a wrap coming on in. Moving on forward, Skullface down below, it's a 3v2v1. Lennon, he's gonna be the one to find the slide. Brings down Skullface, add another one to the tally, puts him at 8. You're looking for the final kills though.
B-Dad gonna hold the high ground here. Kadzu, Aydan, when do you swarm? When do you drop onto Lennon? When do you give him trouble? Well, Lennon will find one. The Thermite, absolute perfection, is also gonna bottleneck the door, but it's not enough for him to hold the Frenchman who laid claim to the end building early and swatted away all challengers. Will stand tall, draw the line in the sand, and cut everybody down for the victory here in map number 7.